One of my goals for the year had been to touch my palms to the ground, and I can pretty much do that when I'm cold now with a slight bend in my leg. And then when I get warmed up, I straighten them out fully. I bought yoga blocks, so I think it would be cool to be able to touch palms to the ground of them as well. But it's not something I'm going to work towards. It's like they're 2 or 3 inches, and that's a big distance. Well, yeah, you heard it here first. The next stretch I'd like to work quite a bit on is like opening my hips or groin stretches like frog. Rory can get his hips really close to the ground, and I think that would be so beneficial for slab climbing and stuff. So I'm going to spend most of November working towards that. I think maybe add weight because I see very little progress in those. So other than stretching, it was a pretty chill day. What I did was some fingerboarding, and I've started doing two hands, but only using two fingers in each hand. So I do front two and back two. And I started doing this because I've really grown to hate one arm hangs because you can just dry fire and it's horrible. Another reason is I was listening to a podcast with Dan Varian on the Nugget, and he goes on about this test you can do to kind of identify lazy fingers or ones that just aren't kind of doing as much as the others. And on both my hands, my index and my pinky are taking like a good bit less weight, like I think 8 kilograms in one case. One of my right index is especially really weak, so that in combination with me using this chisel grip that's on the screen is probably one of the reasons I get injured. And I think I've been compensating for that grip, so I'll use my thumb quite a bit in crimps. I very rarely full crimp, but what I'll do is put my full thumb on the crimp. And then another thing I do is I don't know what this is called. It's like the forbidden full crimp, but really pulling up the fingers and you're just hanging on connective tissue. Sort of, there's very little muscle, so this works really well for small edges for me. So on the 6 mils, if I'm in half crimp, I can only hang for I think like 8 seconds or something. But if I do this, it feels like it's indefinite. But it also feels like something could break very easily.